He's like living it up. Everyone, welcome to the September 8th meeting of the Metroplex Board of Directors here at downtown Schenectady. We welcome folks who are watching us live stream on our website. And our first item of business tonight is the approval of the minutes of the July 14th meeting. We took, as is our usual practice, we did not meet members, so the last meeting we held was July 14th. You have the minutes. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Moved.
Thank you, Neil. Seconded Sharon. Any corrections, changes, comments on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next up is our treasurer's report.
So, year to date, cash on hand is over $9 million. We're doing very, very well. We're in budget for the taxes annually. Our pre-development expenses are in line. I think we'll start seeing more of that go down. We have developed $220,645. And overall, I think the organization has been doing a great job. I want to give kudos to Maureen and Jamie and the rest of the team for really kind of bringing, this us out of this financial turmoil that we've been in for the last couple of years, and so on the upswing, and it's good to see. So, thank you.
Any comments? Motion to accept the treasurer's report. Bob, thank you. Second, Brad. Just a comment. I believe the first 6 months of the year we had the second biggest increase in the region in sales tax. And we're a little concerned about car sales. That's an important factor because of the availability of product. We understand that that's an issue, so we're continuing to keep a close rein on spending.
Where does that increase come from?
Increased spending across the board.
Across the board,
Yeah.
Specific area?
That we could see.
It's generally a pretty robust economy right now, really across different sectors. The sales tax has been very, very strong. Retail in particular has been strong.
Yeah. That's
Internet sales, of course, as you would
This is
expect.
how long a period?
the first 6 months of the year, the control. I sent the data around to all of you to look at, but we had good numbers. We're always watchful that all will fall off with the Delta variant, so continue to watch it. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of adopting the treasurer's report, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we turn to 4 resolutions that we have on our agenda tonight. First one is a very important project at 500 State Street. I asked Jamie to go through the 2 resolutions, first seeker, and then we adopt the general project plan.
Right, we have 2 resolutions before us for 500 State Street project, which is a development of Redbird Development Partners, taking the mostly vacant Bank of America building at 500 State Street to use as a multi-tenant medical arts facility. We held a public hearing on the project on September 1st. We received no comments at all during the comment period. The first resolution is with respect to seeker. We undertook a coordinated review, determined the project to be a type 1 action. We received the consent of 8 state and local agencies to act as the lead agency. So we have reviewed the project, and the first resolution issues a negative declaration for the project. This is important for the project, particularly because they're a recipient of DRI funds. They're also going through SHPO for historic tax credit, so it will be important in that respect too. The facility is located, as you know, right next door to the Foster Hotel. Proctor's Theater is nearby. The old OTB building is also getting listed on the historic register, so we wanted to take care and review the project closely. You'll see from the write-up, it's a $12.4 million project altogether. Work has not started yet, but it will be shortly once we get through the secret process. You'll note that there is a significant amount of DRI money and owner equity in this project. If you have any questions, we can answer them.
I need a motion on the secret resolution. Karen, seconded by Sharon. I'd just like to thank Jeff Buell and the team at Redburn. This whole block was basically dead a few years ago. We gave rebirth to the Foster block. And now this 60,000 square foot building, which was, as Jamie said, other than a small bank branch, has been empty. Just a dead building on this block, right next to the Hampton, doors away from Proctor's. Redburn, of course, is building the new building across the street at 501 State. They're rebuilding the old OTB headquarters behind this building. We believe this project is going to bring a lot of foot traffic and people to downtown. They have lease commitments for the entire building. They have bank financing in place. It's really a great project. It is the leading DRI project that went in with the state, so there is a state commitment here. But again, we thank our friends from Redburn all around that part of downtown. They are making major investments. I'm happy to answer any questions before we go into secret resolution.
I've been talking to some of the people who are active in that project, and it sounds like a really interesting medical project for Schenectady.
Yes.
I think this project is going to bring Schenectady out of the doldrums in terms of medical services provided to the community.
Great, good comment. Yeah, they're hoping to do more. So, any other comments on 1496-21? Seeing none, we'll call the question on the secret resolution. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, to adopt the general project plan. You need to say anything else?
No, this is just the approving resolution for the exemptions from sales tax, mortgage recording tax, and real property taxes.
Who with the final, of course.
Yeah.
I need a motion. Karen, second by Sharon. Any further discussion?
Our involvement with this project is just the pilot. Is that?
We're doing the sales tax exemption on the materials used to renovate the building.
Yeah.
We're doing an exemption on the mortgage recording tax, and we're still negotiating the pilot. It'll be a lot more than the building pays now. But we've got to put some kind of rationale on that, and we're still negotiating that, but we want to keep the project moving forward and get it going.
Good. That's good.
It'll add to the tax base and bring a lot of people downtown, and it creates a lot of jobs. Any other comments, good questions? Thank you. All those in favor of resolution 1497-21 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we go to Lower State, 22 State, one of my least favorite buildings downtown, the Trailway Station.
This is exciting.
And we have two resolutions on this, and we'll ask Jamie to summarize.
I think, as you know, we're in the mode for buying the Adirondack Trailways building on Lower State Street. Worked out an arrangement with the owners, which is long overdue, and they will continue to operate their bus service, but it'll be part of our state South Church Street project. So we set aside a small area for their buses to pull over, and there'll be a shelter erected for their use on the street. Metroplex's participation is $285,000 to buy the property. We would provide a grant of $75,000 to the land bank. The land bank is going to help us expedite the asbestos abatement and demolition of the building, which we hope could take place in about 30 days. And then we allocate an additional $50,000 for any unforeseen expenses. We think this will move very quickly along with the South Church Street project. And as you know, the South Church Street project is already adding 42 parking spaces for the community college and public use. There's over 30 spaces of on-street parking, and now we'll be adding about another 30 spaces with this lot, at least for the next year or so, until we come up with alternative uses for the site. The first resolution is a seeker resolution, which goes along with the acquisition of the property, so it's a negative declaration. And the second resolution is our approving resolution.
Have a motion on the first resolution. Aaron, second by Sharon. Just want to make a couple of comments. We're actually buying it for slightly less than the appraised value, $285. We thank Adirondack Trailways for their cooperation and work with us. I want to thank David. He's done a great job. We've got really good bids for the asbestos for the demo. I mean, I'm very surprised, pleasantly surprised at the pricing we're getting. David's able to get through his work in the land bank. As Jamie said, this picks up about 30 spaces, 40 some spaces in the lot on South Church, 30 spaces on the street. All of a sudden, we got 100 spaces in an area downtown that's growing. We actually had a question from a reporter, why do you need more parking down there? The $45 million mill project, the $20 million YMCA project, the stockade is nearby, Bountiful Bread, Frog Alley, the Electric City Apartments, on and on and on with development all over state. And we'll be doing we'll be adding additional parking assets in the future, but the demand is there, and the trailway station is unsightly, it's vacant, they have no plans to open it. We did get a few calls, and we said, you can't buy a ticket there now. You have to buy a ticket online. You can buy a ticket by phone. You can go over to the Albany station and buy a ticket. I'm not a big technology person, so I can empathize with folks who struggle with technology, but they are happy to walk people through and get them a ticket over the phone and mail that ticket to folks who want to travel by bus, and the bus stop will still be there. So we're really excited about this project.
What I don't understand, what's going to happen to the building?
We're taking it down.
You're going to take it down?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it is.
That's the facade agreement.
Yeah, it's beautification through demolition in this case. It's just unsightly building.
Right.
Yeah,
Any other questions on the seeker resolution?
That's the model.
Great.
agreed.
Yeah, motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The next resolution is to adopt the general project plan. Have a motion on that, please?
So moved.
Sharon, seconded by Sharon. Any further comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we stay in that lower State Street area on South Church and environs, and we talk about our security camera project, and we'll ask Jamie to give us an update.
As you know, downtown Schenectady really is blessed with significant surveillance camera coverage sponsored through the city of Schenectady and the county district attorney's office. We were on the ground floor with the DA's office almost 15 years ago with getting cameras and buying cameras through the DA's office for all of our parking facilities. In 2015, we did an upgrade of many of the cameras and systems, and now in 2021, we're looking to again upgrade and add about another 10 or 11 cameras in our parking lots and in the vicinity of the South Church Street project. The total cost is about $35,000. We are working through the DA's office, so their vendor will be able to move ahead and upgrade the equipment and the cameras that need the changes in the downtown area. But it certainly benefits us, the community widely, but also in our parking facilities. We do get, occasionally there are incidents, the police use it for a lot of different reasons. And so we're able to just pick up the phone, call who we need to, either at SPD or the DA, and we've got instant responses on this. So it's a good investment on our part.
A motion on this?
Almost.
Aaron, seconded by Neil.
Yeah, comment?
Yes.
Yeah, I was talking to the police chief last week, and he gives a lot of credit to the camera systems that have been set up in Schenectady to prevent a lot of crime. So my question really is this going to be enough cameras in that area, or are we shortchanging ourselves a bit?
Well, they're the experts. We want to thank District Attorney Bob Carney, Jennifer Assini, who works with him, and Rick Voris, who's the jack of all trades in getting these things up and installed. And they're professional opinion, they think this is good coverage.
It's filling, it really is, these are filling gaps that they have identified. So it really does help kind of close the loop, if you will, where either the coverage is intermittent or there needs to be sort of better technology to use so the cameras are more effective all the time, if there aren't blackouts or things like that. So I think for, the 10 or 11 pieces of equipment they need, it's a pretty good bargain.
And we'll keep looking at that, Neil, and, look for gaps in the coverage. I do want to tell folks, especially those who are watching my live streams, I had a woman call a year or so ago. She went to Tara Kitchen for dinner and then went over to Bowtie, watched the movie. And in that interim period, she was concerned something happened to her car. It wasn't working well. And we had the video of the parking the entire time. We watched the video for the entire, on her car, the entire time when she was in downtown Schenectady. And we were happy to tell her, nothing happened to your car when you were in downtown Schenectady. It's just, you're having car trouble. But it was, that kind of detail, and it's really, we're blessed to have this system in place. Metroplex was an early supporter, an early adopter of this, and it's worked out very well. So
I can I just add on to that? Years ago, there was a bank robbery that was done downtown, and I can't remember which one, it might have been Citizens Bank, and they ended up going down D Street, one of the side little areas there, changing their clothes. The whole thing is on cameras.
Right.
They caught him before he got on a bus to go back to Syracuse.
Right, yeah,
And
that's,
the cameras are phenomenal downtown. They just followed him all through, and they caught him before he got on the bus.
yeah.
It was amazing.
I've asked the district attorney to share that video at one of our meetings. I'll ask him again because it's really compelling.
It's amazing. I've seen
The
it.
gentleman goes into the old 501 state, then goes behind Center City to change clothes, and they are able to track him everywhere he went. And all the way to the,
And the chief caught him.
and he went to jail for 15 years.
Yeah, the chief is the one that caught him.
Yeah.
He was, I think, a detective at the time.
So
It's pretty cool.
It's really interesting footage. We couldn't watch it, of course, until the case was adjudicated, but
Right.
I've asked the DA to show it to us, to you all, so we'll try to set that up for next month. It's a good idea. Do we vote on that, Jamie?
Did not.
We did not. We have a motion and a second, good discussion. Any further comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 1500-21, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we stay downtown with our downtown revitalization initiative, and we'll ask Jamie to give us an update on resolution 1501-21.
As you all know, the city was a recipient of a $10 million award by New York State for its DRI application. We were heavily involved in the application preparation and then the whole process that took place last year during COVID to select and recommend projects to the state. The announcement was made in May of the 13 projects which are listed in the memo, and we can answer any questions you might have about any of them. The resolution is simply a kind of an administrative process item. Whenever the city receives substantial economic development money, we work with them by signing a memorandum of agreement where we'll work together to make sure we can expedite these projects, handle all the paperwork. We do it all the time. We've been doing it for a long time. So it makes things go a lot easier. We want to be very successful at these projects, move ahead, get done as quickly as possible, and draw down the $10 million from the state. So this needs to be approved by the Schenectady City Council, which will happen probably in a few weeks. But this would get us started with working with the city on this more formal basis.
Have a motion on this, please? Sharon, second. Karen, thank you. Again, we worked hard to win the grant. This helps us administer it. I want to thank Jamie. I'll tell you, we have, as you all know, Jamie has many talents. He was a loans and grants official with the state and is extremely knowledgeable.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Couple years ago.
But really is an absolute expert in being able to manage all of the paperwork that the state requires to administer these grants and get them paid. And we're very blessed to have his talents and his energy on that, because we're able to do things. I frankly don't know how less experienced economic development groups can do it, because it's a massive undertaking, and he does a fantastic job.
And we've talked to other communities that have been recipients of the DRI, and it is clearly a big problem. many of these communities just don't have the staffing, the capacity, the ability to push the paper that you really need to. I mean, it's a lot of projects, it's a lot of money. And, you know, of course, I think we do the best job in the state, so.
Yeah, we really do, and the CFAs and the Restoring Work Awards that we've won are getting paid out and they're administered beautifully by Jamie, so thank you. Do we call a question on that? 'Cause
We have not.
We have not. Any other comments? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Great. Next up is public comment. I don't see anybody from the public here. Thanks for Maureen, our very capable CFO here. Thank you for joining us. David, great job. Next, we'll move on to board comment. Comments from the board on any subjects?
Last time we talked, we had $1.6 million in going projects. Is that still about there, or is it going up or what?
We talked about last year, if this is the number you're talking about, we were very proud that during the pandemic year, although it's still going, we had $1.8 million in construction last year. 1.8 million square feet of buildings got built or renovated in Schenectady County during the height of the pandemic. We don't have the totals for 21, but we're working on it. Our ongoing project commitments are way beyond.
About 7 million right now, yeah.
So
We've spent $1.8 million already this year.
good level of activity.
So I think one of the issues that we have is that there's a lack in materials. I think that's slowing some of the jobs
It
down.
is. Yeah, that's right now, yeah. We are seeing that. We wanted to thank Paul Webster, who I thought was going to be with us tonight. Paul has been our board member for the last couple of years, from the last several years from Niskayuna, appointed by several supervisors, has always worked very hard and served in a professional, nonpartisan way, and did a great job representing Niskayuna and the whole county. Paul is going to be moving his official residence to Albany County. We're sorry to lose him, but he'll be here in spirit. So this would have been his last meeting. I know he was planning to join us, but his hours are quite long. So we'll send along your regards to Paul, and we'll be looking for a new board member from Niskayuna. If anybody has any ideas, that appointment comes from the supervisor to the county legislature for confirmation. So we'd encourage you, I'm sure many of you know folks.
This year, we'll be getting a new supervisor.
Yes.
And Syed is,
But Paul's resignation is effective today, so that's something that the current supervisor will be able to do if she chooses to, or she can wait till her successor is selected. Any other comments? We thank Paul, though, and we'll send him a note, we'll send him regards. No further comments, we will adjourn, and thank you. We will be meeting in October, on October, I forget the date.
I think it's the 13th.
13th, thank you.
October 13th.
Thank you. Second Wednesday as scheduled, and we'll see you then. Thank you. Motion adjourned. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Right, keep this.
Yeah.